Hello, I am Dr. Kirby Thompson, licensed naturopathic doctor and acupuncturist, owner and operator of Wildflower Wellness. And today, we are here for Dr. Kirby's Pick, September 2020. Now, we took a few months hiatus from Dr. Kirby's Pick, and last month we covered hydration, why it was so important. What I want to do is talk about things that are very important. And I had a few topics that were in line to talk about today, this month, but I did some continuing education through the Naturopathic Medicine Institute, and it came to my awareness that we need to understand what naturopathic medicine means. And some of you have been to our talk that we have on occasion about naturopathic medicine. We haven't done anything online or, YouTube, anything for this. So I figured, hey, this is a great time to talk about it. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about naturopathic medicine, what it is, and how we need to apply it to our lives, and how really in detailed naturopathic medicine goes at getting to the root of what is going on in your life. So, that to be said, welcome to our dining room. So, this is a place where I often study and work, especially when I'm trying to work some kinks out of something. And I'm really excited about new things we have to offer this fall to you from Wildflower Wellness for your health assessment. Remember, it's not the one thing you do, but the many. And you have to have many different perspectives about your health and follow that process in order to make sure that your health is coming along and nothing falls through the cracks. And that is what is so great about naturopathic medicine, is that it covers the whole gamut of the being, not just the physical health. To introduce what naturopathic medicine is, what I want to do is talk about one of our founders, Dr. Henry Lindlar. He wrote Nature Cure, and also what I have right here in my hand is called The Philosophy of Natural Therapeutics. Now, Dr. Henry Lindlar was actually a medical doctor who had chronic disease, and the modern medical establishment at his time really could not help him at all. And so he traveled to find naturopathic medicine. And actually, and there are others, but we're talking about him today, brought that back to America. And our roots are in that. And I love it. Naturopathic medicine has an ordered operative process that is reproducible with each person who seeks our medicine. And that is because of our philosophy of natural therapeutics. So what do we do with each patient? Well, these are called Henry Lindlar's 6 horses, Dr. Henry Lindlar. So on page 20 of this book, it says, what methods of treatment are in conformity with the constructive principle in naturopathic medicine? These are called the 6 horses. This is what we do with everyone. Number 1 is establish the normal surroundings and natural habits of life in accord with nature's laws. So, what are you doing in your life that is keeping you, that you're trying to bend the speed of light? You're trying to go beyond what your body will allow. And for some people, it's as simple as sleep. And for some people, that is as simple as not wanting to turn the TV off to go to bed. Number 2, economize the vital force. The vital force in naturopathic medicine is what we call the vis medicatrix. And it is actually what we were created with in order to heal. Naturopathic medicine is the only form of medicine that recognizes that the body was created to heal itself. It is up to us to remove those obstacles to cure. And we do that through many ways. Number 3 was build up the blood on a natural basis. That is, supply the blood with its natural constituents in the right proportions. So if you have weak blood, you're going to have a weak body. What we have to do is give you the nutrients and other things in order to build that up. However, Number 4 is promote the elimination of waste material and poisons without any way injuring the human body. So if you're cruddying the body up with a standard American diet, not drinking enough water, only drinking sweet tea, then these things, and those are the only things, but they're things I see all the time, especially in our Southern culture, which I freaking love. I just learned when I was 16 that if I drank sweet tea, I was going to gain 5 pounds by the next day. So I don't drink that. Okay, number 5 is to correct mechanical lesions. This is what a lot of people know as an adjustment to the bone, the spine, the tissue, the body. And number 6, this is where naturopathic medicine shines too. I love it. Arouse the individual in the highest possible degree to the consciousness of the personal responsibility and to the necessity of the intelligent person effort and self-help. So that actually puts the ball in the person's court instead of in the medicine's court. What is the personal responsibility we have that we were given by God in order to make sure that we are healthy? It is important to keep your temple well. So, what does all that mean? How do we use this in practice? Well, when somebody comes in with a problem, we use what's called the therapeutic order. Okay? So, when you come into the office, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take an intake. My father always said, if you listen to somebody long enough, they will tell you exactly what is the matter with them. And honest to goodness, it's true most of the time. But how do you deal with that in a clinical practice? Do you just go ahead and do surgery? Or do you want to start with, hey, why don't you take some dairy out of your diet and see what happens, right? So, in order to make sure that we are addressing a person's health properly and in the correct process and order, we have, bam, the therapeutic order. So number 1, and it's similar to Lindlar's, establish a normal, and remember, this is what we do with each patient. This is how we use our modalities in practice, right? So number 1 is to reestablish the basis for health. This is where I always tell people, this is what you're doing at home that may be obstructing your ability to be well, right? These are really common right here. We address the determinants of health, things that can determine your health. And sometimes it's genetics and sometimes it's complicated. Remember, sometimes it's not your fault. But these you have to have in order to be well. Diet, shelter, water, rest, sleep, restoration, right? And we talked about water last time, hydration. We'll talk about sleep again. We've talked about it before. You know it's one of my favorite things. Number 2, stimulate the vis medicatrix. Let's do it again. In practice, the first and main thing we're doing is, hey, what do we need to do in order to make sure that you are pulling out stresses that you can control, right? 2, stimulate the vis. This is done through a lot of modalities. It can be herbs, self-healing mechanism. It can be herbs, really great through homeopathics. One of the number 1 ways to stimulate the body's healing mechanism is through hydrotherapy. Constitutional hydrotherapy for certain, but there are other ways other things in hydrotherapy, poultice, castor oil pack, which I use castor oil packs in practice all the time. One of the things that's really helped me stimulating the vis in order to overcome the car accident that I had in February, which I have still been having symptoms. Now they're not as bad, but hey, remember it takes time for the body to heal, especially if you get hit going 65 miles an hour on the driver's side door and you dent the frame with your head. So let's just keep that in mind. But what I did hydrotherapy was I've been doing hot and cold contrast showers after the shower. 1 minute hot, 30 seconds cold. And I do it on the front and the back. Man, I'm telling you, even my chiropractor was like, when I started that, she was like, what are you doing? Because I saw a change when you started doing that. Anyway, I told her what I was doing and she was amazed. I love it. So stimulate the V's. Acupuncture is another great way to stimulate the V's. So a lot of times with a naturopathic patient, I'll say, hey, why don't you do some acupuncture and help stimulate the V's? Now, if you're not doing number one, and remember, a lot of our visit is number one. You know, what are we doing? What's going on in your life? Let's talk about the mental, emotional obstacles, because the body is spirit, soul. What is it? Our being is spirit, soul, mind, body. No, spirit, soul, mind, body, emotions. And I do that in that specific order because remember, we cannot be governed by our emotions, but we do have to work through them because they can affect our health. And in next month's Dr. Kirby's Pick, we're actually going to be talking with a local counselor, Wendy Soloria, and we're going to be discussing, back and forth about mental, emotional, and physical health. So that's going to be great. And we're going to talk about some products and things like that. But I want to take this month to, root in this. Number 3 is to support, restore weakened systems. So if you're coming in and you have a problem in your head, but you're not detoxifying right, well, of course you're going to have a headache. What about if you're eating dairy and your Carroll Food Intolerance Assessment says that you're not supposed to eat dairy? Well, you're going to be creating extra toxins, and then you're going to weaken your gastrointestinal system, which is then going to weaken your body's ability to detoxify. And then guess what? It actually can cause brain inflammation. And hey, there you go. So we have to figure out what it is 1 through 3. Now, I really do love to stay 1 through 3. Hey, your adrenals are down? Great. Support that system. Most people's adrenals have problems, so we need to support that system. However, we have to also restore structural integrity. And depending on when you go to a naturopathic doctor, depending on your state and their scope, you can do some things and you can't do others, especially in the southeastern United States. So often I'll refer to some local chiropractors. I love chiropractors. I think they're great and awesome, and I think it's a great tag team for our medicines. Number 5. So most of your naturopathic doctors like to stay 1 through 4. We're doing it. We're feeling good, yada, yada, yada. Now, if you have, however, a really chronic problem, or let's say you come in and your blood pressure is, 175 over 95. Well, that's pretty dangerous, and let's come back down. Let's say it's 150 over 85, because 175, 200, that's not good. So 150 over 85, 90. We're definitely going to do all this so that your body's physiology and biochemistry can start working and actually help your body repair. But in order to get that down so that you don't stroke out or have a heart attack, we actually are going to first use some natural substances that are palliative. So there's some blood pressure formulas that I love to use since we're on that topic. I love Cardiotone. Michael's has a good one. Fish oils, magnesium, things like that. But, like a blood pressure formula. Or if your thyroid if you've been eating like crap for 10 years, and your blood sugar's out and all that kind of thing, you have a thyroid issue, we might give you some glandular thyroid. Hey, especially if you're worn out and tired and you're like postmenopausal. But, we kind of want to go, as you heal, you should be able to go back into the 1 through 4. 1 through 4. Okay, then number 6 is the use of prescriptive drugs to palliate. It is a misnomer to think that naturopathic doctors are against prescriptions. I don't like prescriptions, but I'm not against them. And sometimes you have to do something because you've let your body get so out of whack in the 1 through 4 that, hey, it can be necessary it shouldn't be a first resort, right? Number 7, high force surgery, radiation, and chemotherapeutics, right? So it's on the list. It's in how we use our medicine, but we want to start at the top, not at the end. If you come in with low back pain, I'm not going to throw you under the knife or, that kind of thing. Now, if you come in for naturopathic medicine, acupuncture, low back pain, and it's a reasonable time and you're not getting better, then I'm going to refer you. Because another one of the best parts about naturopathic medicine is it takes into consideration the health of the patient. And if things aren't working for you, or, which happens most of the time, is you're not doing the things that you need to be doing in order to help the medicine work for you, then I'm going to refer you out. We love our patients, and I want you to get a hold of this. Naturopathic medicine, I always say, is the best medicine there is. And everything that we do, including acupuncture, constitutional hydrotherapy, homeopathy, botanical medicine, supplements, nutrient therapy, all of that falls in this naturopathic therapeutic order. And we are using that in order to follow the program of Linlar's 6 Horses. And don't forget, my favorite part of Linlar is not giving you things to nourish the blood. It's not promotion of the elimination of waste or correcting mechanical lesions, which is actually structural integrity. But it is the arousal of the individual in the highest possible degree to consciousness of personal responsibility and to the necessity of intelligent personal effort and self-help. And we help you do that. We help you work through things. I spend a lot of time talking to people because this and this make this either work or not. We appreciate you. And if you have any questions or would like to schedule an appointment, please give us a call or visit us online at www.wildflowerwellnessllc.com.